Once upon a time, there was an odd and lonely man named Mr. Man. For Mr. Man, every single day was the same. He woke up at exactly 8:17 every morning. Mr. Man always made sure to read the morning news as he ate his bowl of cornflakes. His favorite section was the sports. He never understood much about sports, as he wasn't really much of an athlete himself, but he loved to read about people being a part of something. Every morning, Mr. Man left out a bowl of milk for the stray cat he had named Priscilla. Priscilla didn't like him very much. She was prickly and mean and always hissed at him, but she always drank the milk nonetheless. Mr. Man always helps Mrs. Garfinkel tend her garden. He was allergic to most flowers, but he thought she might like the company. But mostly, Mr. Man sat inside and watched. He watched birds fly overhead and children out playing with their friends. He watched cars drive by and neighbors catch up. He spent a lot more time watching everyone else than he did doing anything himself. But what Mr. Man loved watching the most was the stars. He loved the night sky. He thought the sky seemed far more exciting than Earth. Sometimes he wished he could float away, up into the stars, and never come back. But he always stayed put. Every day passed by exactly the same. But one night, as Mr. Man stared out at the stars, he wished and wished harder than he ever had before. He wished and willed that he could get away from Earth, that he could make his boring and monotonous life stop, that he could just make it all go away. He wished it so hard that it started to come true. Mr. Man began to fly away. Past his neighborhood, past the clouds, he soared into the sky he had longed for so long, and for a moment, it was beautiful. But then, the farther from home that he got, the more nothingness he found. Mr. Man had wanted to get away. He wanted to feel different than he did every other day. But he'd never wanted this. He never wanted nothing. He looked around for something, anything, but he began to fall back down to earth. "Oh, there you are," Mrs. Garfinkel said. "I was beginning to worry about you." "Worry about me?" Mr. Man replied. "Well, it's 10 o'clock. You never gave Priscilla her milk, and you never came to help in my garden." Mr. Man was confused. "You noticed that?" he asked. "Well, of course I did. But what if I had just woken up late, or if I had gone away, like on a vacation, or I had left forever?" "Well, I would have missed you if you had gone away," she replied. Mr. Man didn't know what to say. He never thought that anyone would miss him before. So he went about his day as usual. He gave Priscilla her milk and helped in the garden. Suddenly, to him, his life was beautiful, because his friend and his cat would miss him, and because his life wasn't nothing, it was something.